Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios, weekly wing it number 119 here on Rumble and YouTube. And starting it off with us tonight, if he's back yet, Mr. Frederick Guimond.
I'm here. I'm a little lagging between the camera and the mic, but I'm doing well. I'm going to ink in page 17 of Rattel tonight, so let's party.
Nice. And also joining us tonight is the one, the only, Mr. Billy Bobsack.
Couple.
Okay, now that I used up all my energy for the info, I'm going to take it after you guys talk.
That's right.
So what have you guys been up to lately? You got that going on there, Frederick. And what page did you say that was?
This is page 17. So including this one, there's like 7 left to ink. So getting close to the final countdown of being done with the art portion of the comic, and it's only going to be the color left to do. Maybe I'm going to put out a black and white version. Like, who knows? Like, they're kind of cool sometimes.
I think that's still too old for Joe Biden, you know?
Yeah. No, every. What are you talking about now? Is this back to the 17-year-old joke?
Yes.
Yeah, no. Every woman in this comic is over 18, for sure. By far.
We're going to have to verify that, you know?
Now, when you complete a...
they're in a bar, so they're all...
Page,
Listen, I'm just saying Dr. Disrespect is liking one of those characters a lot.
When
well,
you complete
should.
the
They're
inking for a
hot.
page, do you send it out right away, or do you send a few out at a time for coloring?
No, I send one at a time for my colorist. So basically, whenever he's done, I have got the next one ready lined up. So I make sure that I have a number of pages that are all cleaned up. You know, like I go in digitally and remove any dust from the scan, any mistake I didn't catch. Sometimes you got a little whiteout in a place, and the scan will pick up a texture, so you want to go in and digitally delete that.
Whiteout is still a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not called whiteout. It's these, you got these oil markers. Are they oil or acrylic paint markers? Yeah, my camera's lagging. But you can see it here. These are little... But you can't really control super well how much comes out. Like, sometimes there's too much that comes out. Sometimes it's dry and it won't come out. So it's not a perfect tool.
And this is your Pen 15?
No, that's the other one.
All right. So the last time I used whiteout myself, I think it was still the late 90s. I unscrewed the cap and had the brush on the page.
Oh yeah, and I'm not talking about that kind of whiteout. It's just easier to say that. It's just a white marker, acrylic marker. I mean, I think this is the stuff people use for graffitis and stuff. It's good. It's opaque. That's what you want with your white marker, and it dries pretty fast. So usually I can fix a mistake and then come back with the Tombow pen and just ink over it again if I need to.
Hello, Christina. Good to see you. How you doing tonight?
Welcome, Christina. How you doing? She's got that werewolf look to her.
I think, what was it? I think King Bob. Was it King Bob that got that made for her?
I think so, yeah. I don't remember.
I've always known her by her handle for years, Lady Wolf. Seriously, for years, that's what I referred to her as. I didn't know her name for a long time.
I know evidently people are freaking out about the Studio Ghibli AI prompt.
Yeah, I mean, especially Studio Ghibli, they're freaking out.
It was King Bob. I thought Studio Ghibli were okayed that or something.
No.
No,
no.
The founder of Ghibli hates AI with a passion. Like, there's no way he would even tolerate it. It's like, yeah. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything because, I mean, because you can't copyright a style, but you can say they don't have permission to source their material. Because if they're reproducing the style, it's because the machine has sourced the material. So I think that's the angle they can maybe try to get their rights upheld in this situation.
Yeah, they can't do the style at all. It's not going to work because you can't copyright a art style.
No, but you know what I'm getting at when I say like they can sue the company for illegally scanning their images.
Oh no, they can get them to
for
take it
training.
down because
Yeah.
of it. Well,
I don't know where those
I don't
lines
think the company wants to get in a legal battle. Technically, I think they could win it because it's like, how are you going to prove that we're using your source?
Yeah, we're probably on the forefront of the legal precedents. They're probably going to happen in the next 5 years or something. We're going to have the first legal precedents determining, okay, where does AI stand? Where are they allowed to learn from? And because even if they set laws on what they're allowed to do, people will still do illegal training of AI anyway. So there's going to be that aspect that's going to exist on the side as well. It's kind of the reality we're living in now, unfortunately.
To me, it doesn't matter if we shut down.
Yes,
or not.
don't forget
I
to hit
just-
the like button. Thank you, Christy.
I do think people were going a little overboard, like attacking people that were using it as a fucking profile pic. Like,
Yeah, there's
doesn't matter at that
there's-
point.
Yeah,
It
if
reminds
you're
me.
using it to make money, that's a problem.
Yeah, I've seen that kind of vitriol reaction back in the Photoshop days. When Photoshop came out, the artists were pissed, and you would be branded if you were using Photoshop, right?
Well, the funny part, from my perspective, like I said, they were like, I can understand the company being like, "All right, we don't want this shit." Are you like actually producing it right? Or using our shit? I said, okay. But getting upset because someone was using it as a fucking use it for a profile pic,
Yeah, that's
you
extreme.
gotta get the fuck over yourselves at that point. And the one screaming, "They need to hire an artist." Well, guess what? Not everyone hire a fucking artist. It does cost money, and it ain't gonna be cheap.
Yeah,
And
that's
let's be honest, most people don't know where to go if they need to hire an artist.
well, humans are unreliable as well, so it's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't compare. This reminds me of the disingenuous take that music companies had back in the day when they were saying like everyone who pirated their music were lost sales. They were saying, "Oh, we're losing billions in sales," as if everyone who's downloading stuff would have gone out and bought the stuff. Right? It's not just because you're using it doesn't mean you would have hired a human to do it
Correct me if I'm
anyway.
wrong. They also really shot themselves in the foot instead of trying to work with it, which was like the digital stuff and everything.
Yeah. They had
Everybody just wanted a pig pile on Napster.
yeah. Did I ever show you guys my old Spawn sample?
No.
This is from 1996. Can zoom in a little bit. This is during the era of the Batman crossover. So Spawn had the wound from the Batarang.
Oh, is this from the same comic where at one point he holds on to Batman and he needs to teleport them and he says, "Hold on to your guts, Bat Boy. This is gonna suck."
Well, this is just a sample I made out of nothing. So this is just like me imagining something with Spawn in it to draw it.
Oh, have y'all also seen the stuff on the Genshin Impact voice actors?
No, cool. I haven't heard of that at all. What is that?
So they went on their I think trying to get the Hayo to fucking do a union with SAG-AFTRA and shit. And they were doing the protesting and shit, right? And they immediately fucking replaced them with other people and shit. And they were kind of lying about to the fans and shit about actually why that company doesn't want to sign that. And it's specifically because the company wouldn't be able to hire non union people for the voice acting roles. which they hire a shit ton of non-union voice actors.
Okay.
You've heard of it, haven't you, Raven? Lately,
I'm sorry, what?
the Genshin Impact fucking voice actor shit that's going on.
I remember, what was it? Vic something or other had something going
No,
on.
that was to do with Dragon Ball, and that was specifically him getting fucked over by the faggots at
Yeah.
Funimation. Because he was
Oh,
fixing to get
Funimation.
he was fixing to become over one of the studios and shit.
Hmm.
And then they started falsely accusing him of shit. It was specifically the Bulma voice actor, English voice actor.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard any of the new stuff going on.
The last I heard about a voice actor somewhat scandal was the voice of Bayonetta, claiming that they weren't paying her much or something.
But on that thing was one of the persons who replaced another part. He lives in Japan. He has no clue what any of the shit was going on, and they were fucking like dogpiling and shit talking him and all kinds of stuff, running him through the fucking mud. Dude didn't even fucking
I have
know
no
anything.
idea why.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even know this shit. Immediately being fucking cunts and stuff. So I'm glad they fucking lost their jobs. Fuck them. You're gonna do that to someone else.
They took our jobs.
Yeah.
Gerbs.
If it's happened in probably like the last week, I probably haven't heard any of it because I've been completely swamped with work stuff, and I feel like I'm getting too old for this.
The problem is, I don't SAG-AFTRA and shit. I don't think they really realize that video game companies don't give a fuck. I mean, you're just giving them excuses to hire even shittier people. They don't care. They really don't. There's video game industry is some of the greediest fucking companies in the world.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit.
Yeah. And speaking of which, a new trailer came out this last week.
Oh, for Metroid.
Hopefully this will play because my computer's having a bit of lag issues. Hopefully this plays smoothly. Let's give it a shot. Here we go.
First of all, you gotta turn off the medium music on the background. Hey, it is lagging like hell for me.
Yep, it's lagging.
This is the planet Vuros. Here, in
Lagging.
order to survive
Frequency.
and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to, Samus must scan stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward.
I don't know if Frequency can hear us.
Can you guys hear me?
We can now, but you're lagging, brother. You might have to get Frederick to play it. Or Raven.
Yeah, send me the link. I'll try to play it on this side. It did lag a little bit this morning, but that was from Twitter, so maybe YouTube is going to be better.
Twitter.
Send it in the private chat there, regular, and I'll play it.
You're waiting to get your Tesla? Put with a swastika on it?
Yeah, that'd be great. I really don't like electric cars. I don't think they're
No one does.
well, the liberals do.
Yes, which is ironic.
The batteries cost too much.
Right? It's like, oh, your battery's dead. It's going to cost you a house. You know, it's like,
Yeah, that's
Hey, look
Thing-
at that!
the
I stopped trying.
problem
to
is they
screen
really
and
want to
stuff works again.
they really want you to convert to them, but the problem is they'll never be done unless they perform and exceed fucking gasoline diesel. If they can't even do that, then no one is never gonna catch
even
on.
if they did, okay, you want your car to start in the winter when you live in Canada, and batteries are not good for that. We need
Yeah.
we need to actually keep our engines and batteries warmed up during the night, in the minus 40 temperature.
Right,
My-
but even
Warm up them glow
avoid
plugs.
that, they still don't. They don't even perform better than a gasoline or diesel.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it's like an iPhone. People just want to flash and have the best like UI, regardless of the foundational principles. Right?
I still find it funny that one chick who was like, "Fuck Tesla, the Nazis," and then she's like, "I'm going to Volkswagen."
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder who founded Volkswagen. Do you guys
Well,
know?
speaking of historical facts, Readout has
the
joined us in the chat.
The mustache
Yes.
man.
I must ask you a question.
Read out. You're gonna join us in here.
Hey,
right
read
now.
out.
Read out. We're going to start talking about wrestling if you don't join in.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna talk about wrestling.
Welcome
Hey,
to
it's
Star
Star Fury.
Fury and Animation Overload.
So, what's your guys' favorite wrestler that you would take on a train ride, and what kind of train would you take him on?
Wait, what?
What?
That's an unusually random question.
I would
but,
take him on a train ride, or we're riding a train ride to somewhere.
Riding a train ride to something.
Oh.
Kane.
Yeah, he's base as fuck, by the way. He's fucking
Oh,
married.
I don't know,
He's
but
a
if
mayor
it
of my
was
state,
Kane
by the
when he's in
way.
ring,
Huh?
if he's wearing the mask and has the long hair like he did back in the ring, I'll sit
He's
next to
bald.
him because no one's going to want to come over and bother us.
Listen, he's bald.
I could be left
Okay.
alone.
He's been bald for like over a decade. Well,
Who
over
has?
a decade.
Oh,
Which
he
one?
was bald back when he was in the ring. He just, I don't know. Did he shave his head like right before they went to do the mask offs bit, or? Because I thought his hair looked
around
different after the night he
2006,
took it off.
2007 is when he had the where he's no longer wearing the mask or the kind of red suit, and that's where he also had they put blue contacts on him as well for his eyes
What was the point of that?
to make him look like a monster. That's why.
Hmm.
Also, psychology of it.
Oh, by the way, I don't know who was going to share that video, but it's been sitting in the private chat.
Oh, that's my fault. I was distracted.
But
He was distracted by
around-
being constructive.
it was around 2006 is when he had the full mask off, and then that's when he had his hair shaved and
Hold
everything.
on, let me shut.
I
all
really
my-
didn't. I really didn't like it when
programs
they did
off.
that. Although I would imagine he was probably sick of wearing that thing all the time.
I'm gonna shut everything down.
If I remember correctly, he had like an interview where it was just time to move on from that. The mask came from his debut.
Okay, I'm just
And
shutting
move
down
on.
all my programs to.
I
get-
love this loose cannon.
But he,
so.
if I remember correctly, he ended up eventually coming back with the mask, but the mask looked fucking terrible.
It
I have
keeps
to pull that
starting
up.
by itself. I wonder why. It's,
Read out, join us. You can tell it. Read out. Come on, read out. Join us. Read out.
yeah, it's my computer's freaking slow. I don't
join
know why.
us. Join us, freak. Come on,
But,
read out. Where's he at?
Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. All right, here goes nothing.
Nope. It's lagging too much. We're just gonna have to give up on it. It's lagging too much.
Yeah, my whole computer's lagging. Like even my camera's lagging right now. I don't know. It must be the stars. The stars are not aligned with the Starlink satellites.
Yep. Does anybody remember that Kane story arc where after he ditched the mask, somebody else showed up wearing his old mask and causing problems? So Kane ended up beating the crap out of him. Eventually in the back halls, and he's like, and he reaches down rips the mask off the dude's face, says, "This is mine." And he walks out, but the camera never showed who the guy was lying on the floor. And it's like they never revisited it again. All this time they were building up, who is this guy? Who is this guy really? Who is he? And then Kane pulls the mask off him. They don't show his face, and they never mention him again.
When
If
was
I'm
this?
remembering correctly.
When was this?
This is sometime when he wasn't wearing the mask. An imposter Kane showed up and came to a head between imposter Kane and real Kane. And they did all this build up wondering who this guy is. And then when they did, they just ended it, never revealing who it is, like it was going to go somewhere, and it didn't.
I know there was like 2 times where Undertaker revealed in the ring that it was actually Kane. Or Kane, he was wearing Kane shit and wrestling as him.
What's up, Maji?
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you are.
How is everyone? I know it's been a while.
Doing all right. How you been?
I just got back from the docks. I'm doing all right.
The doctors or the doc?
Doctor.
Okay. Because I was like, okay, she's got a mission at the docks.
You know what? I'll pick Mark Henry. Why not?
The wrestler?
Yeah.
The
Which
world's
type-
strongest man.
Yeah. 'Cause no one's gonna fuck with you if there's like a 400-pound big black dude.
I mean, if we can pick dead
Nimrod.
ones, Andre the Giant would be my choice. Although you'd have to pay for his tab of beer, which would be
Oh, yeah.
expensive.
That'd be a good choice.
Yeah, before I think what I heard, he actually wasn't an
Interesting.
asshole.
No, he's a good guy. If you didn't, rub him the wrong way, like Macho did.
Well, I mean, even outside of the ring, like if you, here's
Well,
one
how
thing you're
about
gonna
Roddy
learn
Piper?
about wrestling, especially of how they treated enhancement talent and shit. Like they would do, they would be not safe with their moves in dark matches and shit with enhancement talent. A lot of them did. I would also pick Hulk Hogan just because I want to hear how many times he lies,
I just make it a drinking game. Take a shot every time he says "brother."
Hulk Hogan is married to a Scientologist now.
Hey, how about Sergeant Slaughter? He was a WWF superstar and a G.I. Joe character all at once.
I know, right?
Well, I'm trying to remember what people said he's like outside the ring.
Yeah, I just remember him as a G.I. Joe character.
Oh, you can pick Perk Angle,
I drink milk.
I still think the worst storyline in TNA ever was when he was actually going through his divorce, and they decided to write that into a fucking storyline. I was like, you know what? I'm not surprised he kept using pills and shit at that time.
No Sergeant Slaughter. I think Christy has an issue with Sergeant Slaughter. All I know about Sergeant Slaughter, I know from the G.I. Joe cartoon primarily. I didn't see him in the ring all that much.
Here, I can pick another one. I'll pick shit. Blanking on his fucking name right now. The Muslim.
The Iron Sheik.
The Iron Sheik, yes.
Take
He had more
his,
personality than
submission
Slaughter.
move, the camel clutch.
It's a fucking bullshit.
Oh, hi. I got zoomed in on.
I heard the dude was actually from the Metro. What's
Read
that,
out.
Magic?
Need to get in here.
Well, we're still talking wrestling. If you don't get in here, we'll start talking TTRPG. Where's
That's right.
Rondo?
Is that a
Let's
promise
prove
or a threat?
everyone wrong. We're gonna kill the dragon somehow.
I'm not a piece of armor.
It is gonna be funny when we post that we actually do kill this fucking thing. We're like metagame for the win.
Yeah, Otter is posting your progress on Twitter and explaining your strategy and all that.
Oh,
Becoming-
there's things he doesn't even know about. Trust me, we got like backup plans.
And there are things we don't know about, which is why we need more backup plans.
That's right.
How many backup plans can you have?
A lot, evidently. A lot. Like a lot.
I'm surprised that Fallout 76 is still around.
Oh, I got modded 3 more times.
I should YouTube search Batman contingency plans for dragons. I'm sure it exists.
Yeah, but it'd have to be a specific dragon. You're not going to get like dragons in general because that wouldn't really be fun.
He's got
They'd have to be,
15
like,
ways
small
planned
or
out on how to
something.
take down Puff, the magic dragon.
Yeah, it's probably out there. I'm pretty sure there's one on Smog.
There was one on Amazon, a whole entire E3 adapted book that you could add kaijus to your game.
What?
There's a fan-made E3 book on Amazon where you could add kaijus like Godzilla and stuff to your game.
E3? It's fine.
Or E5, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what you're meaning by E5, E3. I don't know.
5th edition. Is what you
The
mean. by
D&D, the edition? Or video game?
The edition, D&D.
Oh. Well, we were talking about games. That got me confused.
Yeah, you said E3, isn't that like the showcase?
It used to be a big game convention. That's why I said it. But E3 shut itself down because too many BS games that nobody wanted to play.
Well, E3 got shut down and converted into Summer Games Fest by Jeff Keighley. It's the same fucking thing. It's actually worse.
Actually, that's where Nintendo
wow.
Direct came from. They said, "Screw E3. Why pay somebody to do something we could do ourselves?"
Yet they still show up. The only reason we know the Switch 2 got announced was because it got leaked and they went, well, fuck it.
Christy's asking Tim for some of the mead. And she
It's
says,
I
make it
gotta
a double.
Kill a bunch of Mirelurks.
I'll say this Switch is great for indie games. Perfect platform.
Yeah, it really is an indie haven up there. You go through the all the stuff they got for sale, all the games you'd never even heard of or ever imagined.
It's also great.
The trouble is that it's a grab bag. Some are freaking awesome, and some are like, "Why did you even put this up here?" You know?
I just think it's like great for platforming games. To be honest, be much more fun with a handheld instead of on a big screen. Ah, there we go. Readout. He said,
Yep.
wrestling.
He has been summoned.
Well, I was trying to come on like 10 minutes ago, but then people from work started texting me for reasons and are trying to me to think about tomorrow. And I'm like, I don't want to think about tomorrow. I would like to think about the nice drink I'm finishing off right now.
Wow,
how do
it's
you like that
tomorrow.
shit?
Magic, did you just take down a multi-headed beast with a flamethrower?
Technically, it's a plasma rifle that I put a flamethrower adaptation mod on.
Nice.
Because it looked like what's that creature called? That three-headed dog from Greek mythology.
Oh,
Cerberus.
Cerberus?
Yeah, what kind of creature is Cerberus?
He's a dog. He's technically a dog. That
Dog
was a
with
bear.
3 heads. He shoots flames.
Yeah, he's some sort of
Yeah.
demon dog.
Or in one game, it's 3 hot chicks. Take your pick.
Isn't he from
Well,
hell?
Magic just took one
Isn't
down. with a
Cerberus,
constant
uh,
stream of
Cerberus
flame
starts
He's
from a
guarding the
Gates
planet.
of
dogs.
Hades.
He's guarding the gates of Hades, right?
Yeah.
So he's
I
like
think-
some sort of demon dog,
Yes.
like a pit
I
bull.
think that's where I built one of my
Easily
houses.
distracted with bacon.
Yeah, but you know, that
Yeah, but
doesn't
you got
really
3
work.
heads to
Pit bulls are
distract.
actually, they could be nice, you know.
I got a lot of bacon.
Because Cerberus, like one head might be able to eat the bacon while the other heads are like barking at you. You know.
Yeah,
They're also
I've always
very
wondered
smart.
about that. Do they all 3 heads have to eat or just one?
Just one.
They share the same stomach.
Tosses some magic brownies, and when he's done wolfing them down, you can come back an hour later, walk right by him while he's sleeping.
But then again, you're also going to have all 3 of them eat. You know?
All 3
Which-
heads don't need to
Which
eat.
set of taste buds did
Yeah,
what?
but do you think that the other 2 heads are going to let one just eat? No, come on.
However, they might all have different taste bud sensory. Like, you know, one person go, "Oh, this tastes amazing," another person's like, "Oh, this tastes like crap."
Really?
Well,
How
you-
difficult have you seen?
That is
Noted?
options.
We're talking about dogs here,
The other
Wrangler.
will.
Hold up. To be fair,
How,
Wrangler, they
how
do
difficult
eat
do you think
crap.
they're going to be?
Yeah, they do eat crap frequency. It's a dog.
Good point. Remember listening to a Bill Engvall routine where he was talking about going to the vet, and he said he didn't understand why his dog was eating poop. So he goes and asks his vet about it. He goes, "Here, sprinkle this in his food. What will it do?" "Oh, it'll make his turds taste bad." He's like, "I never thought I'd hear that sentence uttered without it being a joke." It's like, wouldn't they, by definition, already taste bad?
Not
They
to a
taste like
dog,
turd.
evidently. Not to a dog.
It's like, some nutrition didn't process out. Let me do that again. And I keep doing it till I get it right.
Let's get that disgusting Fallout 76 off the screen. Back to Frederick.
What part of the map is she on?
They're
Much better
all-
art.
They're all over 18, so you can fantasize as you will.
So read out. How do you like Jey Uso, right? It's your favorite, aren't you?
Oh yeah, main event ooze.
There you go.
Who immediately botched. Like immediately.
I'm going to give this one more shot, although because things seem to be going smoother now. So,
Also, correct me if wrong. Isn't his entrance like fucking it's as long as Undertaker's or some shit?
I probably if you're at the live show, yes, it's not that long when you're watching it on TV.
So, how excited are you for the new Metaroid, Wrangler?
Metaroid, what is that? Metaroid.
Sounds like a
it's
disease.
like a metallic hemorrhoid.
Oh, Metroid.
Oh, that makes more sense. Metroid.
Yeah,
Also, Frederick wants to know you're on a train. What wrestler are you picking with?
And which train?
Would you like to get on the train to Auschwitz?
that's a
God, that got dark.
wrestling and trains in one shot.
Yeah, you get to pick the train model and the wrestler on which you take the train ride with. Pretty clear.
I mean, we did have the plane ride from hell with Ric Flair. We could have the train.
Do you want to be in the passenger seat with Ric Flair when it's going on?
No, I want to be on the far end, the coach, and just kind of watching
But
everything occur.
you have to be passengers. You're both together. Like you're sharing the cart.
It would be entertaining. I would not be bored. I may be traumatized for the rest of my existence.
This man has flair for the dramatic.
Actually, probably Rob Van Dam.
Well, yeah, because he'd be
Quiet
laid
and
back.
chill.
Well, that's because you'd be stoned pretty quickly on that ride.
Oh, I should add some speed lines.
I mean, you could do it with Brock readout, and he can piss on you.
Jesus.
What?
Why?
You don't know this?
I don't want to know.
So you know the whole Vince McMahon shit that went on a couple years ago,
Well, there's a lot of Vince McMahon shit that went on for many, many decades. It wasn't
Yeah,
just
right?
a few years.
You're gonna have to narrow it down a bit.
So specifically, wasn't he read out he's paying like chicks NDAs to keep quiet about him pissing on them and shit and all this other fucking shit.
Oh, okay, another one of them.
And that
What's
right?
up,
That's when he was
Man Blue?
implicated in
Hey, Blue.
Hey, you feel me in blue?
readout.
What's up?
I honestly don't know. I didn't pay attention to most of the Vince McMahon accusations because I've already heard so many Vince McMahon accusations before the mainstream media got hold of them.
Well, I mean, I still go with Razor Fist. The biggest shock wasn't that he was doing this to women; it's that he was doing it to women in general. Like it wasn't men.
That was the shock.
Yes, that he was sleeping with women. That's the biggest shock.
Wow, where did we come to?
I don't know if you go back and watch a lot of shit.
That he's not the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club.
Yeah. Let me put it like this. For some reason, he decided he really wanted to be shoved up Big Show's ass. Twice.
This did happen
Twice.
on live television for the whole
Choosing to
world to
forget
watch.
this knowledge.
Twice. So I'm just saying. Real shock. Either way, I don't really give a fuck. To me, it just sounds like he was into some freaky shit, and then the woman's mad because he didn't pay as much or some shit. That was it. I really don't give a fuck.
Stories like
Sounds-
that have become far too frequent lately.
Yeah, it's like another Tuesday.
And then even Stephanie McMahon left the company, didn't she?
I don't know. I don't know anything about wrestling anymore. Why do people think I know things about wrestling?
Because you're my modern day dog shit wrestling dude that you know all this.
You know, like the whole history of wrestling. Are you kidding?
That's right.
I don't know all of it.
Like I know like bits and pieces, really. Not really. You know everything.
No, I don't consider that because I need a chart to navigate the history of the World Heavyweight Championship.
I wouldn't call it World Heavyweight Championship, just fake Heavyweight Championship.
Well, there are several World Heavyweight Championships.
Why don't you call it fake?
We need like the David Arquette meme where he shouts like wrestling's not fake, like a whining child.
No.
and Ready to
She's saying
rumble.
the fake world belt. I'm like, why?
Well, it's like, but if you get into anything, like when you get into then stuff like boxing or mixed martial arts or anything, they have world titles, and it's like they've broken them down into so many different belts, and it's like they're next to worthless.
Oh, they all look like shit as well, by the way.
Oh, they do look like crap.
They look horrendous now. Not as bad as it was when you were watching it, I think, when they had like the blue and fucking red.
That was pretty bad.
Those are terrible. Even the ones I've seen recently, they still look horrible.
Yeah, AEW got some good looking belts at least. Well, the world title belt looks pretty good.
I think the only one I think that looked kind of good was like the US one, the updated one. I definitely think it's better than the fucking one that was with Cena's run a long time ago.
Well, that was just like the spinner belt and stuff. That was a one-off thing.
No. The US belt.
Yeah, he had a US spinner belt.
No, it wasn't a spinner belt. Not the one I'm talking about.
Which one are you
One
talking
that came after that.
about? There was only one. There's only been one consistent US. Well, no, they've had
No,
the
there
eagle one
hasn't.
lately. Well, they had that one that was for many years, and then now they have one with an eagle on it.
Yeah. the
Oh,
one
I thought
before that one.
I thought the previous one was fine. It wasn't offensive.
I didn't say it was offensive, but I do think the one they got now is better, at least. Looks better, in my opinion.
All
Other
right,
than
we're gonna
that,
debate
look,
belts, folks. We're
Listen,
gonna
the IC belt looks like fucking dog shit, the one I've seen.
Yeah, it's a downgrade.
Ah, damn it.
I think the most, actually, here's the most offending one of them all, readout that I've seen. The fucking tag belts.
Well, the current one, they've recently brought out new designs, and they're not as bad as they weren't those nickel ones. Well, first they had the penny ones, and then they became the nickel ones, which was the same design, but they went from bronze to silver, but it just looked ugly. The current ones aren't that bad. Like they were only recently, like maybe late 2024, they brought out new tag belts.
Why can't they just make it? Why, first of all, why do they keep switching this shit up so much as well?
Because they got to make their logo as big as possible so they can brand themselves, so they can promote themselves to the world.
Despite how ugly the fucking spinner John Cena belt was.
They're like, we must be, we
I
must be
remember
like
that.
UFC belts. We must be like UFC belts with the giant UFC logo. I'm like, I know you're owned by TKO. You're all owned by the same conglomerate, but
You know the sad part about that? Technically, they did it right with the NXT ones that I've seen. If they were going for the UFC, because that one actually does it with the letters. This one's just a big fucking ugly logo. There's barely any gold actually on the belt.
yeah.
Tell you what, you mentioned tag teams. My two favorite tag teams were Undertaker and Kane when they were doing their Brothers of Destruction, and the Dudley Boys.
Which run of the Dudley Boys, ECW or WWE?
WWF.
Yeah, because
The
they were pretty
ECW
different
may have been
characters.
better. I didn't see them back at that point. I only saw them on WWF.
Well, in ECW, they were possibly the two most evil people on the earth. They
Let me put it like
almost
this.
caused Dayton, Ohio to riot once.
Yeah. Oh, let me put it like this. Devon,
Get the tables.
his their philosophy was kayfabe no matter what. And he kept it up
They did.
until WWF, in which Vince McMahon told him he will do signings and shit, and they weren't allowed to stay a heel all the time.
To be fair, it probably was for the better move.
Who was it that did the superhero shtick in there for a while? He was going by a regular name, and then he came out as the Hurricane.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I remember his Titantron entrance. Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through. It was so cheesy.
Oh, yeah,
Perfectly
it was
cheesy.
meant to be a gag thing.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And then Molly Holly joined him.
Yes, she had the stupid fucking superhero gimmick as well. It was so bad.
I thought it was meant to be, though.
Who was the midget who was also doing that in like 7-8 years ago? Read out.
I don't remember anybody doing that.
Nikki something.
What? No, I don't remember anything like that.
It was Nikki something.
I don't know if he counts as a midget, but Rey Mysterio was pretty badass for his size.
Yeah, but he was funny enough, I don't really understand it. They never really wanted to push him. And he was just like basically getting squash matched all the time.
Well, the only time they ever gave him a push was like, oh, your friend died. So you're going to be the vessel for your friend now. And you're just going to piggyback on his recent death. And, Ray's like, no, I really don't want this. And the crowd's like, ooh, this is not really nice. And it got so bad where they basically got to the point that the one time they tried to really push Ray as a face, but they're like, no, you're the friend of Eddie Guerrero and you're fighting for Eddie. And the crowd's like, can we just cheer for Ray? That basically, was it Angle and Orton were in that triple threat match at WrestleMania? I think it was to a point that like people were starting to cheer more for Orton and Angle.
Was he in a triple threat? I thought that triple
threat it was a triple threat, WrestleMania 22.
The majority of time that I watched, Angle was a heel. And the only time he wasn't was during that whole thing where Austin turned heel for the incoming, what was it, WCW? Or
oh, God, the invasion angle. Oh, God.
The biggest
failure
really
in
did like it right before he turned. I did like it right before Austin turned, when he came through and just like cleaned house. But then he turns and joins him.
By the way, that's why Sting didn't join. Wouldn't go over.
That's
'Cause he
why
was-
most.
he
That's
was
why most
Sting-
of the big names didn't join in 2001.
Well, Sting. Well, there were names that joined. They
Who
quickly
says he's about to tap out of this bitch?
because they realized
I
really
think he long tapped out.
all WWF at the time. All they're gonna do is fucking squash us, and bury us.
And he was right.
I think the only ones that made it out was what Booker T. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't.
And that's barely. I mean, because they didn't let him when he should have won against Triple H at WrestleMania 19.
Was this during Triple H's reign of terror bullshit?
It was.
To be fair, that's just the fucking dog shit reign of terror.
It's not as bad as Jeff Jarrett and his reign of terror in TNA wrestling.
Well, I don't know. There's a little bit redeeming with Jeff Jarrett that he has the reign of what is it, the reign of sadness or some shit. Where he, when he comes back, he's just having him get buried now or some shit.
Well, this is what happens when you're friends with the person that is writing all the matches for the company, and the company is going into the gutter. You become a multi-time world champion when you really shouldn't be at that
But
time.
then again, Vince Russo also became a champion.
Okay, we're going to talk about 2000 and World Championship Wrestling. Does anybody want to take a guess how many times the World Heavyweight Championship changed hands in the year 2000?
All the times.
Well, that is the correct answer, but I need a number.
5 times.
What, like 3 or 4?
5 times. 5.
Five-time WCW champion.
No, more than 5 times.
Wow.
This is the year. All right, here we go. I'm going to go for the whole year 2000 very quickly. This is the
All right.
final full year of the company running. They would have 3 more months in 2001. But all right, let's begin. The new year begins with the championship being held by Bret Hart. But Bret Hart got concussed in the head when he got kicked for real by Goldberg at Starrcade 1999. So Bret Hart had to vacate the world title January 16, 2000. And actually, Bret Hart was forced to retire because of this injury. Then, January 16th, 2000, Chris Benoit, the man we're not supposed to mention for reasons, wins the world championship, his first reign. He quits the company the next day. The championship is vacant again. January 24th, Sid Vicious wins the world championship. And then one day later is stripped of the championship and storyline. And then Kevin Nash wins the world championship by bestowing it to himself because in storyline, he is the commissioner of the company. He would hold that for a whopping 0 days because Sid Vicious would win it back in a steel cage match. And Sid Vicious would hold it for a whole 76 days. Actually, I'm pretty impressed. When Vince Russo declares all of the belts are vacant as they're rebooting WCW. January 16th, Jeff Jarrett wins his first world championship, and he'll hold it for a whole 8 days, being defeated by Diamond Dallas Page. And then a whole day later, you know what's coming next, Billy. April 25th, 2000, in a tag team match. How does this even work between Jeff Jarrett and Eric Bischoff, Bischoff being the executive vice president of the company for real life, faces Diamond Dallas Page and David Arquette. Arquette pins Eric Bischoff, and David Arquette, the actor, becomes WCW world champion.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get worse, guys. We're only in April. We're going for this. I hope you're counting. 12 days later, Jeff Jarrett wins the world championship for the second time in a triple cage match between himself, Diamond Dallas Page, and David Arquette. Yes, that happened. And then a whole 8 days later, Ric Flair wins the world championship and will hold it for a whole 7 days.
Woo!
Indeed. And then it is vacated again by Vince Russo. And then on May 22nd, Jeff Jarrett will win his third world championship, and he'll hold it a whole 1 day, being defeated by Kevin Nash, who will hold it for 6 days, who will then be defeated by Ric Flair, who will barely hold it for 2 hours when he is defeated by Jeff Jarrett for his 4th reign. Are you keeping up, folks? Now, to be fair, Jarrett gets to hold the belt for a whole 41 days. Wow. I'm impressed because Jarrett be defeated by Booker T. Yes, that is right. Booker T will win his first world championship, first of his 5-time world champions. He'll hold that for 50 days. Oh man, we're really showing some restraint here, WCW, as we enter August. But look out, because Kevin Nash has won it again. And then on September 17th, Booker T wins it again. And then 8 days later, are you ready for it? Do you know what reign is next?
No.
September
I've lost count,
25th,
by the way.
2000, in a steel cage match, Vince Russo, the booker of World Championship Wrestling, aka not a wrestler, wins the World Championship. Self-insert to the extreme. And then 7 days later, Vince Russo decides he is no longer a wrestler and he will vacate the title. Booker T will win it on October 2nd, defeating Jeff Jarrett in a, what the hell is a San Francisco 49er match? Well, he wins the championship for his
Who
third
knows?
reign.
I mean,
And then-
some of this sounds like the equivalent of JR coming out from behind the announcing table, drunk off his rocker and knocking out peak Steve Blackman for the hardcore title. I mean, it sounds that bonkers.
Wait, we have one more reign. We have one more reign to end out the year on November 26th at Mayhem. Scott Steiner wins his first world championship, which is fairly earned. I won't dispute
Oh, yeah,
that.
he's another one. He didn't get bodied in WWF either. If I remember correctly.
So I'm
That
doing the
entire
tally.
Spicy.
It is set, I think it's anywhere from, in that number, 20 to 25 different title changes in the year 2000.
Do you guys remember when Vince McMahon tried to start his own like football league full of trashy football?
The
female stars?
XFL.
February
Yes.
2001, the XFL
I was really hoping that
begins,
would take
and it-
off too.
and then he tried it again, and it died again. To be fair, the pandemic happened, so that's partly why.
That, yeah, government lockdowns could be a bummer on many plans.
Well, hold up. You saying female football?
No, the Extreme Football League.
Oh,
Like-
okay.
Like the actual major league he tried to run there like in early 2000, using all the buku dollars he had acquired from peak World Wrestling Federation.
And it was interesting, some of the premise, like some of these rules, those are for losers, get rid of them. And then the team didn't get paid unless they won the game.
So they decided this set the tempo for the XFL. They decided instead of doing a coin toss, they were going to do like a scramble where they have like 2 players run for the ball, and whoever gets it first, then they get the ball starting.
Yeah,
the
I'm
game
sure
out.
this will last long.
Well, guess
Oh,
what
I don't get paid
happened?
if you lose at all?
Guess what happened? The first scramble, the player injured himself. Like they got into a collision, injured themselves. If that wasn't an element, I don't know what is.
Oh, come on. Who didn't have a jersey that says he hate me across the back?
He hate me. The only thing anybody remembers from the league.
Yep, and it wasn't even a real name.
He hate me. Well, because the league offered her like, yeah, anybody, if you want to put anything on the back of your jersey, go ahead. And Rod Smart was the only one to go, yes, I'm going to put something on the back. And he's the most remembered thing from the XFL. So you can't, he was smart in the end. He truly lived up to his family name.
And I think it was Chris Jericho helped extend his brand because he showed up to the ring wearing a he hate me jersey.
I got a couple XFL hats. I know I have one for the Birmingham team, and I forget who else I have of them floating around. They got the tags and everything.
I'll be right back.
I would call you nerds, but given where we are, we all are all
it's the pot
nerds.
calling the kettle black.
Exactly.
Yeah, you people didn't expect me to go down that rabbit hole, did you?
Well, no, I didn't even know if people even knew that thing existed because of how short-lived it was.
Oh, people remember it for the disaster it was. It was such an epic disaster that how can you forget it?
I was bummed that it failed because to me it looked like it was more of. I'm not saying NFL is without merit, not by a long shot, but I mean for people to actually, they had to win to get paid. That means, I thought it was a nice system, a nice incentive.
Well, a lot of what often happens is people will try to. I've always felt there is a market for a rival for the NFL. Just after how much the NFL's pissed players and fans off over the decades, but most leagues fail because they can't go. They try going head to head with the NFL, which you'll never do. I think they never can get I think the NFL got all the television and streaming deals gridlocked, so they can't get a good counter. And they try playing in large stadiums still, which is just not a good idea to start out with.
So they got to start their own niche league and let it grow organically from there.
I was kind of
Basically.
hoping the indoor football league would take off when I was younger, but no.
Well, the AFL, the Arena Football League, not to be confused with the actual indoor football league. I mean, there was a period there where it really took off, like in the 90s and early 2000s. Like it
Yeah, I
wasn't
remember going
massive,
to those games.
but they were drawn depending on the market you're in. I mean, the Iowa Barnstormers are probably the most famous indoor football league. I mean, they've really made a name for themselves. And I think it's because they're in a place that doesn't have any major leagues. You're, in Des Moines, Iowa. So they really tapped into that market for that niche there. But our teams just don't do it as well.
I'm going to give this trailer another shot because this is right up there with wrestling.
You're going to destroy the stream. No, you're going to nuke it.
I don't even know if you'll get sound because the only reason you can hear me without chugging right now is because I'm on my phone. I have this through my computer, but in order to do that, I had to mute my computer. So I don't even know if you're going to get sound with this. But we will give it another shot. Hopefully it doesn't sit there and chug along.
Well, go ask Soundwave, your old buddy.
I got to be honest. I'm not so sure I like that operatic sound for her intro fanfare. I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me, but not a big fan of that. I thought the original that they used for the previous 3 was perfect.
This is the unknown planet Vuros. Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center. In order to survive and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to, Samus.
I don't
Were
like
you
the
guys trying to talk
narration.
to me? Sorry, I barely heard your voice break through. I guess StreamYards can only handle so much audio at once.
No, you're good. I'm not a fan of the way they're showing this trailer.
Yeah, I actually watched a video earlier today. A guy who makes trailers
Mm-hmm.
went through it and was like baffled by. He says he's very excited for the game, but he thought their trailer, as far as technically being put together, was utter trash. He said, "I've seen them put out some really good trailers, so I can't believe that this is how they presented it today."
It feels very childlike almost.
Yeah, he said it's like the whole show don't tell thing applies to trailers as well. And this is almost talking down to the audience when they got to remember Metroid players are players who like to sit there and put all the pieces together and figure it out. I think they're trying to appeal to a broader audience, and in doing so, they're just coming across as cheesy.
This must scan stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward.
Yeah, this sounds like a really bad fantasy book.
That's funny because the video I watched earlier, the guy said the same thing. He said they're trying to make the trailer sound like it's for a JRPG or an epic fantasy. He's like, that's not what Metroid is.
No, it's a sci-fi.
Yeah. He said, even though they probably made a fantastic game, they don't know their audience, at least on the advertising side of things.
Well, keep in mind.
I think the game builders know their audience.
Keep in mind, this is the marketing team, not them.
Yeah.
Well, but isn't that the whole point of a marketing team, to know who you're selling to?
Have you seen the Gladiators 2 marketing team?
That shouldn't have existed in the first place.
By
So
marketing to
that's-
the masses,
Maji,
we're marketing
remember-
to us. And by us, I mean our whatever you want to input there.
Do you-
'Cause
do
I don't want to
you-
get knocked off the stream.
Do you remember, what was it? I think it was Doom 2016. Where they had a fucking rap song and it's like, everyone went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, this is what everybody's into, rap.
Yeah.
Doom
And I
is
hate to
not
bring up
rap.
this memory. This is a bit of a painful memory, but
Dude,
the
it's very
trailers
good.
for Transformers 1.
Oh, those were terrible too.
Yep.
But that's a kid's show. This is a mature game. Not
Yep.
only that, but this is a mature game that's been around for over 35 years.
Oh yeah. I remember very distinctly a 19-year wait for a sequel. That was a painful wait. I mean, there's a few other Metroid things between those two releases, but for the mainline games, what was it? Metroid Fusion was, I think, 2002,
Well,
and then
here's
Metroid
also,
Dread not until 2021.
here's also another thing to think about. Why would you create this trailer when you know Metroid is actually one of your lowest performing Nintendo original IPs?
Because Maji, Nintendo went, let's just outsource this, not give a fuck.
But
Which happens.
Metroid actually has a lot of potential because it fits that whole girl boss bullshit narrative without actually breaking anything, because that's the way it was designed.
Yeah,
But
but even
can't
if you give them
quote
their
unquote fix it then.
yeah, and even if you give them what they're looking for, they can't even see it. Like, look at Gina Carano. She was a strong, independent woman who thought for herself. Can't have that. They just want the illusion of it.
That is weird. They finally put out exactly what they've been saying they want to put out. Audience reception is actually positive, so they fire her.
Yeah, sorry. It just baffles me
But-
how childlike this trailer is for a game that is not a child trailer. Or for not a child
Well, it's
game.
not, like
Oh,
I'm telling you
agreed.
right now, I'm pretty sure they outsource this fucking marketing. And
Yeah,
did
but
not
who in
give
their right
a
mind would go,
fuck.
oh yes, I want to play that game. I want to be in this game listening to this bullshit.
Mhm.
Oh,
That or
agreed.
it's
This is
a
not
really
selling the
bullshit
game
game
properly at
that's
all.
what they're going for.
It looks like Skyrim.
No, Skyrim's actually probably done better. This looks like a Skyrim knockoff.
The
Sorry,
Prime
I'm-
series has been doing it this way since 2001.
I'm just talking about the freeze frame. It kind of looks like one of those Skyrim tunnels.
Yeah. It looks like a dungeon crawl from Elder Scrolls.
Yep.
This definitely is Unreal Engine 9 all over it.
She's not alone, though. Abhorrent alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
Get rid of the narrator and just play the damn trailer.
Did you know that in Metroid you fight aliens?
What I like what I'm seeing though, the reticule is being moved around the screen, and then I've seen that lock-on feature happen, so I'm glad that's still there.
But if you remove the narrator, you wouldn't have an extra
As she
person that you had to
explores
pay.
the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers, psychic abilities.
Well, keep in mind they spent like over $400 million on Concord, so you know
And open doors.
these big corporations aren't the.
They really
best
had their money
spending.
where the essentials, you know. They really got a winner there.
But why were these powers bestowed?
Yeah,
upon
we're asking the
Samus?
same question, but why? Why, narrator? Why?
Why?
Sorry, this is the first time
Ooh,
I've
the
actually
chosen
listened to the
ones.
trailer, and it's annoying as hell.
So it's a chosen one.
This looks like an indie trailer, by the way. Just letting you know.
Will be her fate
Night,
after
Christina.
being summoned to Vuros. The threads intertwining beyond space and time are beginning to weave a new tale.
But what threads? I don't see any threads.
But Maji is right. They could have done all this just without the voice, and it would have been fine. Although, I mean, other issues as well. But as far as what the game looks like, it's looking pretty sweet.
It baffles me that the games 20 years ago had way more heart and soul and way more like groundbreaking stuff than today because they simply forgot how to make their own servers.
How's that for some eye candy? Check out that new suit.
Just do the gameplay with like some hard rock and roll or something.
Looks like a
Or
candy
even
wrapper.
some skid up techno. This game will fit just fine
Oh,
with
yeah.
techno.
That would work.
And I don't
too.
even like
Keep it
techno.
Despite the lousy trailer, what do you all think of how the game looks?
Game looks smooth. It does remind me a lot of Unreal Engine with the colors and stuff, so I kind of wonder if they're going for that dungeon crawl feel.
What's up, James?
Hello, gays.
Hey, Pug,
Hey.
what's up?
Just crash landed on Earth. Thought I'd stop by, see what's up.
Why do you always crash land? You haven't like nailed the
He
landing
doesn't
yet?
have thumbs. He can't just hit the brakes.
Amongst other things, you know, sometimes you got a good landing going on, and then someone just throws a really good tennis ball, and you gotta grab the tennis ball before they do.
Oh,
we
so
can-
you're a sucker for balls. We all heard that, right? He's a sucker for balls.
Tennis balls in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
What about
Sniffing.
squeak toys, like little squeaky otters?
Plastic ones are okay.
No blow up dolls.
No, they pop too easily.
Hey, Regular, what's the rating on your show?
NA for non-applicable.
I'm like a board member saw this and rated our stream. That'd be would I be impressed or be dismayed?
That's
Yes
a good
to
question.
both.
And I haven't been on here in so long. I might as well be a guest. Shit.
So Maji, this
Huh.
is the other trailer. I thought this one was far better. What do you think of this one instead?
Here, let's take a look.
I think I've been to this planet once.
Hmm.
They used to have a good Tommy's burger.
Oh, I like they still have the ball effect.
See, this is how you do a good gaming trailer.
Does it have like vertical climbing? Or is it just like,
Yes, it does.
oh, cool.
There are plenty of horizontal and vertical maps in these games.
Fun.
I mean, more horizontal than vertical, but
That
actually,
seems
a
like
lot of them are multi-level. Like, it's vertical as in you're like go down a few floors, but a lot of times it seems like it's all in one take.
You know, I'll say this: you
That
either
makes
are a
even me
Metroid
interested.
fan, you either are a Metroid fan, or you're not. Because while we're watching this, I was just going through my mind every time I ran into somebody who liked Metroid, and they either barely heard of it, like, well, what's that? I haven't heard, or they were just like, oh, yeah, I freaking love Metroid. Give me more Metroid. Turn into drugs.
I wonder which one I am.
Well, Metroid's one of those cult classics.
It is. It's they got a good series of video games there.
Yeah, it never did. It never was the big mover. It doesn't do numbers like Mario and Zelda, but Metroid is one of their big three. And I personally think because of the different tone from everything else that Nintendo has for IP, being locked into a Nintendo console is probably hampering a lot of Metroid sales.
Yeah, it definitely feels like something that be at home on PC or Xbox. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always been the more mature of all the games, for the
Do you
most part.
guys do you guys remember how you felt the moment you unlocked Samus and realized that the whole entire time has been a freaking woman? Or not?
For 5 minutes, I sat there staring at the screen like, huh. And then after that, I'm like, cool. then I punched in Justin Bailey.
And then the person beside you is like, man, I'm gonna make porn of it.
I don't know on that. They were 8-bit was a different time, man.
No. They said Rule 34, it's always existed, Maji.
Got a
Rule
pixel
34 did not
fetish.
exist at that
This
time.
was before the internet, Billy Bob. Rule 34 is an internet thing.
Listen, here's the thing. Rule 34 has always existed.
Since
Beyond
the internet.
space and time, Frederick.
Internet.
It wasn't classified as Rule 34, but it pretty much existed as long as humans existed.
No, I'm from space. Let me tell you, most alien creatures can't even count to 34.
No. It's beyond space and time. It's beyond your understanding.
Well, how would you know? You never left Earth.
How would you know?
You would have brought it up. I'm sure I would have seen you out there. Space isn't this
No.
big.
Well, that's I'm beyond space. So,
The camera's not lagging.
space is not even
anymore.
worth my time.
There's not much beyond space. I've been beyond space. All right. There's like a lot of.
Well,
fast
clearly
food
you
restaurants.
haven't, or you would have known the R34 has always existed.
I do know, and which is why I question. I'm like, whoa. where'd you
Nah.
throw this stuff I never heard? Yes.
See,
Yes.
he's part
Yeah.
of the monolith. The
I bet
government.
you
They're
can't
They're
even.
trying to.
Have you ever been to
trying to cover it up,
TGAC?
man.
James, have you ever been to TGAC?
Probably. I've been to TGI Fridays. Look, if you've been beyond, then you'd know what the most popular gas station is beyond space.
Buc-ee's.
Listen, if you've been beyond, you would know that Hillary Clinton is an illegal transported onto the planet that we currently reside.
That's a single being. We're talking gas stations here.
Well, they used to not be a single being. So you would know
AM,
that.
PM.
And
There
you would know
go.
that. See,
No,
AM,
Buc-ee's
PM.
still wins.
Not in-
Whose
not
fire alarm
beyond.
chirped?
it isn't
I
me.
don't know.
It's frequency.
I
Or
I-
Let's have
I
fire
broke
alarms,
my-
actually.
Frederick.
I broke my fire
No,
alarm
it's
a week
not
ago.
me. My fire
What is
alarm is plugged
going
into the
on?
electricity, so I would have to have a blackout for it to chirp.
Well, you just stole all this thunder.
Then it's readout.
Did
Very
I?
well.
This is starting to seem familiar.
I know, right? I think we've
Dude, I don't even
this
have a
times.
fucking fire alarm in my room. There's not one there no more. It's gone.
Yeah,
I can
did
assure you, my fire alarm is not malfunctioning.
Did you break yours too? I broke mine. It wouldn't shut up, so I had to tear it apart.
Mine wouldn't come out.
Break your fire alarms.
First, I ran it through water.
I had one going off in this new place, and I was trying to figure out what was going on because it seemed to only be going off when the heat came on. And it was the battery was about to die.
No,
So
that's the
replacing
point
it
of a
fixed it.
fire alarm. When the fire comes, it goes off. That's the whole
Yeah.
point.
Well, nothing was burning, so it shouldn't have been going off.
Fire.
Ooh, I'm on fire. This awkward silence is brought to you by Frederick Guimond. Check out what he's drawn.
Hey,
Who
my
wants to
silences
watch
are not
them?
awkward. They're elegant.
Pfizer.
Oh, okay.
And that's-
Right.
I'm also watching some Doom: The Dark Ages gameplay that came out, I guess, yesterday. Today or yesterday.
Pfizer.
So, Space Bug, have you ever been over to the Alpha Centauri system?
It no longer exists.
Really?
I'm afraid. Yeah.
I think he
It's
popped your
now-
bubble there. That's so no.
It's now Pugtopia 19.
19.
Oh,
How many
so
Pugtopias are
it's-
there?
That's still
19.
there.
What happened to the first
No.
18?
See, this is his propaganda from the monolith. They don't want you to know that the fucking suns went supernova. Yeah, it's all gone.
No, that's not how it happens. See, what we do is we go down and we.
No, I'm
eradicate
telling you
all
right now, he's the part of the Pug monolith government.
Well,
He's
I
a-
am, but
No,
that's-
see.
No, I am. I'm not disagreeing with you. I am part of the Pug monolith government. We're going to rule all the galaxies. It's on our. on our to-do
I'm pretty
list.
sure you have to fight the Ottoman Empire first, man.
Monty, I'm
pretty sure
gonna
it's
let you know. I'm gonna let you know a secret. All the auditors are gay, so they never.
They're not
repopulated.
spacefaring, so they'd be quite easy to defeat.
Also, they eat their own poo, so you know.
We're safe because they don't really want to rule us because why would they?
Yeah.
Fish. They want
Now
fish.
we usually try to,
Be right
do a
back.
little diplomacy, make friends, but everybody just takes instant offense to us. We go down to the planet, we shake hands, and then we tell their representatives to bend over so we can sniff their butts. And then they get really offended all of a sudden. It's like, whoa, where's this coming from?
Can you
So-
imagine listening to the stream for the first time, not knowing any of this? We're a bunch of furries.
So, anyways, we usually just go to planetary eradication after that. 'cause
Hold
it
up,
is more
Maji.
frequent.
That's just you and James.
For now.
Because Otter's not here.
You look at that. You have the pony. Yeah, just saying.
I forgot it was on the pony avatar. But he's a cute
Just saying.
pug.
They're gonna mistake anyone for the furries. It's you two. And then you
But
have
anyway, that answered my other question. I wanted to know if there was life out there.
Yeah, for now.
It's the pug life.
Anyways, on my camera, that is my broken fire alarm right there.
Oh, geez. You did
I
have
told
fun.
you.
Wow, you
Yeah.
did
listen. The Pug Empire is just upset because they got swindled by the Ferengi.
We did not get swindled. Okay.
Oh, you did.
It was a momentary lapse in judgment.
Mm.
Temporary
They kept-
insanity.
They kept on throwing around squishy toys, and our representatives, they just couldn't concentrate.
Please, temporary insanity like Dan.
Did those mushy toys seem to keep replicating by chance?
No, but there is no.
Okay, good. They weren't tribbles.
There is no such thing as insanity when it comes to going after squishy toys. In fact, I'd say it's the exact opposite. You're quite sane. But we
It's the
destroy
pug
the
life.
Ferengi. We destroy everything. That's what we do. You either give us the spherical bouncing object.
Yeah, but you
or we
sniff
shall
your own
destroy
butt,
it.
so you know
That doesn't mean that
the
we do not
trueness of your
sniff-
empire is greatly overstated.
We do not sniff our own butts. We sniff each other's butts.
No, I've definitely got footage of you sniffing your own butts.
No, you don't. Nobody
Yes.
has footage of this.
We definitely.
This is earthly propaganda.
Yeah, we definitely have footage of this.
This is propaganda spread by the redneck empire to the southern side of space.
Weren't you at Diddy parties?
They were. Matter of fact, James himself was a guest of honor at the Diddy party.
I was not. I don't know who this.
We even have
Diddy
footage of
individual
that.
is. No, bugs
Yes.
do not like rap. We specifically.
I don't think they were
listen-
serving rap at that party. Look, he's trying to deflect.
We specifically listen to R&B.
You know what?
That's
We
what
can even
genre.
pull up from a previous Tuesday stream in which you said you were a lawyer and you were at the Diddy parties.
That was me. That was a different person.
You're thinking of the lizard. Yeah.
That's the lizard whom serves many individuals. He's
Yeah,
also
but
an
you are
alien.
a lizard. You turn lizard at night. That's what you're trying to hide
No,
from everyone.
No,
You
I
need a
don't.
ball cap and glasses with the pug life.
Okay. Who summoned me? Who's over here talking trash?
See,
about
he's
my
trying,
client?
he's trying to confuse you. So he morphed into it where I was off camera.
Morphed. I, my friend, have an ID and an American citizen and have never left Earth. I don't go to space. I go under rocks. And
He's
I
a
climb out to
shapeshifter.
defend-
No,
To defend
no.
the most innocent individuals like Diddy.
And your pug that was also at the
Mr. P. Diddy did
Diddy
nothing
party.
wrong according to the money he paid me. Neither did OJ Simpson. He also was innocent, probably. Mainly because I'm the perpetrator in that crime. That's right. I killed them. I killed them both. And when OJ was right there about to blab to the cops, I cut his hand. I told you, shut the hell up, or you do exactly what I say. We'll get out of this. And we did. To this day, I
Oh,
can
so that's
announce
why
it
he
to
wears the
sky.
glove to this day.
Yeah, I announce it to the skies over and over again. I killed him. Does anybody believe me?
Skies.
I don't know how
No,
long
they
the
don't.
statute of limitation is on murder.
Nobody believes me, no matter how much I say it. That's how well we were at this party. You don't
Yeah,
need
you
to
got
go
the
to a
fuck
Diddy
ring,
party.
get out of there. We got it
Don't
on
need to-
camera.
Don't need to go to a Diddy party when you get to go to an OJ Simpson party. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, that's right. You invite 4 and 2 get to walk out alive.
Damn. To our FBI agents listening, we have no say in this.
Sure, yeah.
All right, let's get the stream pulled down. We got to bring up that one thing, that dream something frequency. Wink, wink.
Dream something.
Mm.
Oh, did you
A
guys hear
dream
about
something. Oh man, I really like chrome tires.
Dream something.
Frequency knows what it is.
I'm
He should.
supposed to know, but I'm drawing a blank.
Put a dream
Adrenochrome?
and then put
Oh,
say it.
yeah, that would get us yanked.
Yeah, that's a banned word.
What is that? I heard it, but I don't know what that is.
For
We
real?
can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Even small channels like us immediately get picked up for
It's
that word.
Dracula.
So it
level
must be
stuff.
real then. Okay.
It's like, imagine if Dracula was real.
But he was into spinal
Oh wait,
taps.
wait! I know this is the one that's like that movie, that terrible movie with what's his name?
I come in
Tatum.
peace.
Channing Tatum, where he plays a half wolf guy. and then Mia Kunis, and she's Queen of the Bees.
Are you talking about Jupiter or something? Jupiter.
Yeah.
Jupiter Ascending, yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't
and
it a
Jupiter's-
Wachowski's production?
By the way,
Yeah.
I've never watched that movie. I've always seen the trailer because it was on one of the
It was
DVDs I used
not
to
that
watch.
good. Yeah, Jupiter Ascending, the whole shtick is like there's this whole family of ancient freaking intergalactic beings, and what they do is they populate planets like Earth, and when it gets nice and full, they harvest it for this liquid that gives them long eternal life. It's made out of people and planets.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's
Gotcha.
people.
Yeah, I also seen that other
Toilet
movie.
green.
Wasn't the what?
Soylent Green.
Didn't people like the novel? They just hated the adaptation movie, right? Something like that, or was the novel terrible as well?
I don't know, but I know one thing. I've tasted Soylent Green, and it only comes in one flavor: brown.
So, anyways, without the cannibalism,
Wait, no, wait. It comes in two flavors. My bad. Brown and mystery.
Hmm.
so anyways, I told you his pug empire that sniffs their own butts.
I am not a
I think
his.
they're
I
going
am
to
but
conquer the galaxy, but not really.
I'm but a citizen of this mighty empire. I am not the ruler thereof.
So who's the alpha dog?
I can't share that information with you. Clearly, this is a hostile planet.
Well, I mean, first, you know who our alphas are. Why can't we know who yours are?
Because we are not fools.
Oh,
Don't go
that's
around
typical
Also, I just
dog
want to
behavior.
remind you, he's actually a fake pug
So he says.
because
Do I
this is
look
not
fake?
what pugs actually used to look like.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. This is what space pugs look like forever and always. We're a different breed, a truer breed, the kindest, the most civilized breeds.
And you just so
Right.
happen to look like the fucked up version we made.
Yeah, sure. You know why?
I
Because
would like a transcript of the show after we're done.
I can get that for you actually, but the words are going to be a bit jumbled.
The Fathom note taker.
No, it's AI. You just give the video to AI and it transcribes it for you.
Hmm.
Yes. In fact, that's the big secret. The pugs
Funny
are
enough-
actually led by a magnificently powerful AI that has deemed us worthy to conquer the universe.
Dude,
And
we
it's-
really did fuck up pugs, by the way.
Don't say that. It will wipe you out slowly.
No.
We shall destroy the entirety of your people and its line, down to the last micro.
Have y'all ever seen drawings and stuff of, before the pugs and shit?
Do not listen to the man. Do not look behind the veil. Stare at the
Yeah.
pug.
Well, no, he's not lying. We kind of did. The pugs got overbred and became you.
No, it wasn't. overbred. It was specifically, the show dog shit breeding.
Yeah, those are completely different because you may not be able to tell, but I'm actually 6 feet tall.
Like we fucked them up big time.
You're 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
On Tinder,
like most
maybe.
space pugs. Space pugs 6 feet tall.
So, anyways, the animals that we actually fucked up real bad, pugs.
Yeah, I think we owe them a wicked apology.
Hey, we fucked the dodo over pretty well too.
Keep on saying
Actually,
this
no.
we business.
Technically, no, Frederick, because they went extinct. I don't think we
Don't
actually
get
had
much
anything to
more-
do with the dodo.
You don't get much more fucked up than being extinct.
Yeah, but that wasn't us.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
No, it wasn't.
It was over hunting because they were easy
You have
targets on the beach.
absolutely no proof to ever convincingly say that we
We
wiped
don't
out the
need
dodos.
proof.
We just assume we wiped out the dodos.
Well, do you think they just wiped themselves out?
Yes, I assume that there was a natural predator of the dodos, the dodo hunter.
All
Yeah,
creatures
humans-
all creatures ever
Oh.
wiped out in this existence of
That
time
would be a
and
good
millennia.
comic. The Dodo Hunter.
All creatures have been wiped out by the pugs, us space pugs. We're the ones that did it all the time.
Well, evidently you did a shit job because there's over like 1 million species on this planet.
Well, we're not
Just
done.
saying
We're
the
not done.
pug monolith government propaganda not working too well.
Well, it's not propaganda. We
No,
get
it's
around
definitely
to this.
propaganda.
The galaxy's very big. We got a lot of creatures to murder along the way.
And you failed miserably.
No, he didn't. We just started. We're
You
just
couldn't
starting.
even wipe out the Klondikes.
I don't even know what that is. We haven't got
And
around.
somehow you let the Kardashians arrive here. Just
That
saying.
was on purpose. That
Not
was on
bad.
purpose.
They're sleeper
And
agents.
They're not sleeper agents. It's really stupid, and they spread stupidity. They're from the planet. Oh my gosh! That's literally what it's called.
Useful idiots.
They're from the planet. Oh my gosh! And the continent. Useful idiots. We got many of them. We
And let's
scattered them
not even
across
get into
Hollywood.
the debacle with your supposed retraining of MJ.
Mr. Space Pug, since you're almighty and powerful, could I please have some money? I know you know how to
No.
do it.
No, you may not. You must suffer because you're.
Damn
human.
it!
Please give us the secret to how to grow dollars on trees.
Listen, Maji, it's
No.
100% because you're a pony. You're a My Little Pony, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm with the pug monolith. We don't like you. Disgusting.
This coming from a deep space South Southerner.
Yes.
Gremlin.
Yeah, he's from the deep space South, from planet Kentucky.
Space Gremlin.
No, we're from the Bible Beltus. Get it right.
Bible built this. That sounds Looney Tunes. Sounds like something the Coyote would do.
America in space.
Future America.
We really need the South Park dudes to do like a Team America, but have it be a sci-fi space puppets. It cuts to like back then. It just cuts to Team America when they're like just blowing shit up.
Oh shit.
Instead, now it's like blowing up planets and moons.
Same theme song.
Same thing. So maybe add a little bit of synth into it, you know, because it's the future.
So you're talking this is a direct sequel.
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
And they should make fun of sequels by having it be the exact as the first one, just slightly worse.
That does seem to be a pattern, yeah.
And then they'll come out with the next one and it'll be a prequel, which is not like the first one, but still worse than either the other two. Yeah.
I am so sick of prequels.
I just got a prequel comic.
I'm so sick of live action.
Oh, and this is Something Wong. This was her original. See, he fixed her up, but she did look like Asian in the first one. Oh, fuck. Let me. There we go.
Man.
There's the button.
Ding, ding.
Oh, look at that
Ling,
nice
ling.
Asian woman.
Ling, ling.
Who's the Asian chick?
She even still looks Asian, to be honest, in that one.
It's the cheeks, man, more than the eye.
She's more than meets the eye, okay?
She's only half Asian. Gotcha.
She's Russian.
See, Frederick was happy I didn't destroy his hopes and dreams when I beta read it.
That's because I already did that for him.
That's right.
I got good feedback. It's all positive.
See, he even put the slanty panels with the slanty character.
What slanty character? Oh, the slanted eyes. No.
I see your symbolism, Frederick. I see it.
I heard Asians can't look up.
I think we're fucking him up on his drawing.
What do you mean?
Looks like you almost fucked up that line.
No, the line's fine.
So did you guys hear? I know this is no surprise. Snow White took a big old nosedive.
Yes.
Yep. It was actually showing
And
in
it's
my
still
pathetic little
falling.
theater,
It's
and I refused to
incredible
go
how
see
far
it.
it's falling.
Yeah, it's breaking records. This is the lowest rated film now.
Yep.
How could you go see it, Manji? It's so far beneath the Earth's surface at this point. You're gonna really need some heavy duty armor to go down into the Earth's core to go watch this.
Well,
That's how
maybe she
far the
wanted
thing's
some
sunk.
quiet time alone. You know?
I am
Oh, hell no.
surprised.
I'm not wasting my money on that bullshit.
I am surprised Disney didn't try to pawn it off on Disney Plus. They actually did try
I
to
don't
go
get
for
why
it.
they didn't. At least they could have gotten some sort of credit for it, not that shit.
Either that or they're desperate for money.
There's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Which is probably they were desperate for money. They were hoping to get at least a little bit back. Instead of it being just a straight out money loss.
Yay.
Yeah, well, it was beat handily by a working man. And also, I heard that there was a showing of a special episode of The Chosen in select theaters across the country. So it had, I think, about half the screen Snow White does. And
Oh yeah,
I think they beat it.
Last Supper. Sorry.
Yeah, I think The Chosen beat Snow White.
Good.
Yeah, it was an indie film, wasn't it?
It's part of an ongoing series on TV.
No, wasn't there an indie film that also beat it in opening weekend? Something like that? For Snow White?
Yeah. It was a Jason Statham movie.
A working man.
A working man. There you go.
What's funny is it's written by Chuck Dixon. The original the story Working Man is based off of was one of Chuck Dixon's novels.
Not near back.
Awesome. I didn't realize. Are you talking about a graphic novel or a prose novel?
An actual novel.
I didn't know he did prose novels. I thought he did primarily graphic.
I kind of assume like all comic book writers have novels on the side.
No, he does prose novels. He even did a Conan one, if I remember correctly.
Chris Claremont had a series of novels I read when I was a kid. Of course, Mike Barron's got his novels. I think they all do.
I think I picked up maybe. Give me a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books over the weekend. So
Well, that's not
I got
good.
plenty of novels to go through.
It's bad luck, man. 13. You should get at least an extra one or dropped one.
Well, you know, from space, 13 is a good number.
If you say
Oh
so.
no, it didn't work out too well for the Apollo 13 guys.
Well, they're from Earth, not space. Among the comic books I got, some reason I just read out. You know who Bubba Hotep is, right? I feel like that's something you'd know.
We talking about the Bruce Campbell movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I found a prequel graphic novel to Bubba Hotep called Bubba Hotep and the Cosmic Bloodsuckers. So
Wow.
I can't wait to dig into that. Most people don't know Bubba Hotep is a film about Bruce Campbell, where he plays a gentleman in an old folks' home who either is or isn't Elvis. The movie
He's
kinda plays
Elvis.
around with it.
No,
Is
he's
he-
Elvis.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
okay.
Elvis.
It plays around with it. He thinks he's Elvis. It's kind of in the air. But essentially, Elvis and Black JFK must defeat a living mummy that
Wait,
sucks the
Black
souls
JFK?
Yes, they
Yeah,
must
you see,
defeat,
yeah. There's a patient in the retirement home that claims that
Oh.
that the CIA, when they took out Kennedy, he was Kennedy, and they dyed his skin black for reasons. So
Well, like-
because then nobody would believe him. Look, this movie goes wild.
It does, and
It's a comedy. It's a horror comedy. It's played for laughs.
yeah. Old dudes have to
Cool.
defeat. They have to defeat the mummy before the mummy sucks the souls out of their asshole.
Oh, that sounds.
This is
bad.
true.
It's freaking hilarious to
Yeah,
be honest.
Presley and Kennedy kill ancient mummy. What can you not ask for?
In an old folks home. It's damn good, hilarious. So when I saw the graphic novel, I'm like, well, of course I got to pick this up.
Naturally.
I'm almost afraid to know what the graphic novel looks like after hearing that.
We'll be. I'll show it off tomorrow. I don't have my book cam up.
Got the book cam.
Uh,
In the other spaceship, right?
Yeah, totes.
That made me think of I saw trailers for this, but I never saw the show. Have any of you guys ever seen Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer?
We don't
Heard of
talk
it.
about that movie.
Heard of it.
That sounds familiar.
It was a movie. I did see it. It was okay. Not really.
Poor Readout's having an aneurysm just thinking.
Tell the people why it sucks. Read out.
I'm not qualified to say why it sucks. It's not my cup of tea.
What? What's not your cup of tea?
Abraham
Lincoln.
Vampire Hunter.
All right, read out. Tell us about it. How historically accurate is it?
No one on the internet is qualified to talk about anything right now. It's okay.
I'm not talking about that movie.
Read out. We want you. You're the historical person. I mean, this is
You do not need a historical person to tell you about why Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter is bad.
Is
Yeah,
it
but how
historically
historically
inaccurate or what?
is it. Read out.
Yeah, how
Well,
accurate
forget
is
the
it?
historical inaccuracy part. You have this is not my department level. So let me hand it over to the fans of the comic.
No,
and then they're
no,
gonna
no,
tell
no.
the novel.
You,
no,
you
novel.
have
right? Yes,
reviewed.
novel.
You have reviewed Hunger Games, my friend. This is definitely in your wheelhouse. And Fourth Wing.
Ew.
Wheel of Time?
I'm sorry.
And you loved Fourth Wing.
That sounds for some reason just like a show based in the White House.
What, the Fourth Wing? No, it isn't.
I figured.
It's one of the worst YA novels I've ever read. Or not read,
Of
but I
course.
listened to for
It was
15
pretty
fucking
bad.
hours.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry, I cut someone off.
It was 15. How long? I forgot how long the audiobook was. I listened to about 15 hours straight of it.
I don't know if listening to the audiobook was a better or worse idea than me just sitting and trying to grind through it.
Probably worse because the audiobook was like monotone.
Wow.
The
I think it was like
way.
I forget. It was only like a quarter of the way through. I gave up trying to do notes. I'm like, I've written my own like novella here. We're only a quarter of a way through.
You were writing notes.
How bad is this? This military academy cannot function.
Oh, these people were traitors to our government, so let's recruit their kids to get fucking dragons.
Honestly, that sounds like something the United States would have done after the Civil War.
All right.
Can you guys ever see the Pitch Meeting channel?
Yes.
Could you imagine him doing a pitch meeting thing on this?
Oh my god.
The problem is the executives will probably pick it up because he's like, listen, all these fucking retard women and men are like raving over it. They're like, all right, good money. He's gonna be like Harry Potter, Hunger Games.
Yay.
Those other two failed ones, Divergent and Maze Runner.
Yeah. Well, Maze Runner, they completed the entire series. I guess they also did in Divergent, but they kind of crawled to the ending.
The only
Well,
thing I know about,
Divergent pissed off a lot of its fan base.
What
to
happened?
be fair, the novel, the fucking art of the writer pissed off him because for what I know is people immediately knew that the main character was going to die in the final book, like very early on, because they introduced like another character, main character. I'm like, oh,
All I know is when the last book of the Divergent series came out, my roommate who was waiting for that book, read the whole damn thing overnight. I came out in the living room and she slammed the book on the table and said she hated the book and walked away.
Huh. So
That's
what
not
you think
how you
of-
want to end your series.
Yeah.
like I said, from what I know, she kills off the main character from the other ones like early or some shit.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I liked the Maze Runner movies. Okay, they're schlocky, but they're all right.
Yeah, but they weren't the hit that the studio wanted.
Yeah, well, I mean, all those came to be, I believe, because of
Hunger Games.
what Hunger Games or Twilight.
Actually, Harry
Probably
Potter.
both.
Yeah, it's all from Harry Potter.
Okay, there you go.
They were always trying to find the next big Harry Potter. Like, what's the next big young adult fiction that we can convert into a multi-installment series that we can milk its money worth?
Because they
really
tried it. Because if you noticed after Harry Potter, they tried it with City of Ember.
City
I
of
don't
Bones.
remember
you mean.
that one.
You don't remember City? Bill Murray's playing like the mayor in that one. The whole point is supposed to be
I
post-apocalyptic.
do not remember this. It does exist.
Okay.
And Bill Murray is there.
So I'll explain the plot really quick. They're underground, their entire society, and they're like the whole lights and shit, and they have to be conservative. And then there's like giant moles underground too. There you go. That's the plot. And guess what? At the end of it, it turns out, oh, it was a lie all the time. The upper world is completely safe.
Wow, what a shocker.
Same
Anyways,
shit.
a bait and switch. Wow.
And then we remember they also did Golden Compass.
I do remember
Yeah.
that. That they promoted pretty hard, but still it didn't.
Dude,
succeed.
it flopped from what I remember.
Yeah, though I gotta admit, the villainess, I forgot which actress they got, but she was hot as hell.
Correct me if wrong, the one who wrote Golden Compass, wasn't he like a fucking full-on fedora tipping atheist?
Yeah, he wrote it actually in response to the Narnia series.
Now, funny enough, Narnia actually the first movie was a big hit.
Yeah,
It was.
I mean, I remember Prince Caspian doing okay enough to get a
Prince
sequel.
Caspian was boring.
I agree. I couldn't finish it.
I saw the first two. I never saw the third movie.
I didn't mind the Dawn Treader. I thought it was okay, but it felt a little like straight to DVD.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much as I liked the book.
From what I remember, like each one gets worse and worse, and the budget gets lower and lower. Each Narnia sequel.
Prince Caspian I was looking forward to because that was one of the other books I enjoyed, and I don't think it was anything like the book.
And then what else? There's quite a bit of other ones.
There's a lot of little ones here
Oh.
and there.
Fucking shit. Where he uses the little tiny eyepiece thing to see the magic creatures.
Oh, Spiderwick?
Is that what it's
Spiderwick
called?
Chronicles. I
Spiderwick
remember.
Chronicles. There you go. By the way, they did a DEI remake of it show. I've
Really?
seen it. It is
Yeah,
terrible.
it's on
Of
Netflix.
course.
I mean,
is.
not Netflix. Fetch Roku.
Yeah, it is terrible. It is bad. I've seen it. I've seen part of it. It's layered with my racism allegory shit and all that.
I remember they in the early 2010s they tried to do one where they had a love triangle with like two dudes. What was it? Something City of Bones. It was another one.
Yeah, but that was specifically that was Stephanie Meyer, who's the one who did
Yeah.
Twilight. That was her
Yeah.
books after Twilight, if I remember.
No,
correctly.
no. You're thinking of the Invasion series. This
No,
one
no, no,
was-
no. She did City of Bones as well, if I remember correctly.
Did
And
she?
am I wrong in blaming Twilight for this current tidal wave
Hold
of
on, let me
romantic
actually
no.
look that up. I will fact check
Sure.
myself on that.
Yes and no.
Oh,
I mean,
never mind.
Twi-
Cassandra Clare.
Yeah, 'cause Twilight's success perpetuated it, but I think it was like it was.
I know
Really,
the other one did do that. I know
We were
Invasion.
going there anyways.
City of
Yeah.
Bones, I remember because my aunt was like really into that series.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't look bad. I remember thinking, oh, this is actually a fair amount of action here.
You know what? I know how to describe the audience for people like Forflang. Sexually frustrated edgelords.
40-year-old women.
that's the
Sexually
same
frustrated edgelords.
40-year-old women.
I'm not stuttering, and I'm not disagreeing with you either.
Albeit Twilight.
No.
I don't know. My family loves Twilight, dude.
I'm
They
sorry
love-
for the
they
punishment
love
that
the
God has given
movies.
you.
They
Maybe
fucking
you're adopted. Look on the bright side.
my mother loves it. My grandmother loves it. My cousins love it. My fucking stepdad loves it. Like everyone loves it, and I'm like, all right. But they never read the books. To be fair, I have read the opening of I think the third book back when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
My greatest takeaway from that fucking opening chapter was, "Oh, I'm so sad. I have to tell my dad this. I just know how I can tell him. Oh, I'm so sad. He made me meatballs. Oh, my favorite." That was the whole fucking chapter. And I was
meatballs.
like, I'm not reading.
Why does it
Yes.
remind me of that dude from Family Guy that's always in the high frilly voice and the leather ass chaps?
The what?
Oh no.
Yep, that guy.
Oh, the gay dude. The gay
Wasn't-
biker dude.
Wasn't Twilight about vampires and werewolf and sparkles?
No, it was a shitty.
Dude, that was that I don't get how people call that a love story. It was very, very abusive and dependent.
Yeah, it's almost like it was written by a woman. No offense.
Well, it's a modern
That's how
day
a
love
lot
story.
of women write their stories.
Hopefully I do not disappoint and break that terrible tradition, okay?
Not all women. Let me make that fair. But if you look at a lot of fucking women's novels and shit, a lot of that shit's in there. A lot of it.
Now, one of the books that came in today, it was one that Frederick was telling me about. It's actually been pretty good. I flipped through it a little bit, called Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art. And I thought it was just going to be, as it states, a sort of just almost this instruction book of like all the cool stuff that comic books are. But it's as Frederick said it is, and the entire book is one long comic book about comic books. All sort of little guides and steps and things that it shows you are all 100% in comic book form. There's no like paragraphs here that I read. It's all through word bubbles and imagery. So it's pretty freaking fantastic, and it's decent size too. I thought it would just be about like the size of my hand or like a little book, but no, this thing's like the size of my freaking forearm. It's decent. I'll be showing it off tomorrow at Proof of Comics. And I've been enjoying the read of it so far, along with a Spy versus Spy hardcover that also came in the mail. I've been
Oh,
enjoying.
nice. A hardcover,
That one-
you say?
I saw
Yeah.
Work had the magazine form of that with all of my Spy versus Spies.
Oh,
I
Spy
almost
versus Spy is
snagged it.
hilarious.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
pure.
great.
I love it. It's great humor.
Yes, and it's all visual too. It's all visual.
Well, since
No,
we're on
no
this,
word bubbles.
since we're on this now, might as well go ahead and get James to give us his closing. His shield.
Very well. Today I actually released the official release of a story that Billy Bob read for me, as well as a few other friends, called The Villain, which is going to be the beginning of a series of episodic short stories around 2,000 to 3,000 words long. They're very easy to consume. They're all in PDF format. You can download them. You can keep them. Don't have to worry about them getting lost somewhere in the interwebs. You can check it out at worldwithoutendlore.substack.com. They're all free. My subscribers get early release that usually comes with some awesome art to take a look at. But the stories are going to be episodic, and I'm going to be writing them up and release them hopefully 2 a month. And if I get in deep enough with the stories, maybe once a week, because they're only about 2,000 to 3,000 words, so they're pretty easy to write. And the editing process, we've been going through it pretty quickly, so I'm very excited. Take a look, take a read, and take a look at it when you're sitting down on the can or when you're just waiting for your bus to arrive. Really short reads, very fantastic, and they end on pretty decent cliffhangers that just continuously go into a longer story arc, unveiling awesome characters and interesting action sequences and mysteries. Check it out, worldwithoutendlore.substack.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Read out.
Oh, look at my face. Well, not really my face. Look at the logo James made for me. It's beautiful, ain't it? Gotta
Nice.
always admire it. Anyways, I know I've been quiet lately. It's because I've been very, very busy working on many projects. Some of them relating to the TubeU, others just other research I'm doing. But I do have a new video coming out this Saturday. It's the start of a new series. And the first video is, in short, about a man who stormed a German pillboxer in the Second World War and got the Medal of Honor for it. So we're going to be exploring short videos about veteran histories. So that'll be the first one coming out. It's called Laurel Highlands Heroes. First episode drops this Saturday. But if you want to watch it right now, you can by becoming part of the Garrison, my membership program. So if you head over to my channel and you want to watch a video immediately, you can join the Garrison, and you do get early access to videos.
And he's going to do an historical analysis of Abraham killing vampires.
Never.
You got to give the people what they want, read out.
Listen, read out. I'll even help you edit it.
Nah, it's never happening.
We'll get James to help you edit it.
It's not even worth getting mad about. It's just like, yeah, it's a horrible movie. It's like, it's a bad, like, it's nothing that historians can enjoy because it's obviously not historical fiction. It's so loose. And then from I've gathered from fans of the actual novel, they're like, oh no, it's bad as an adaptation too.
Wait, there's a novel of this?
Yeah, it's a
There's a
novel.
novel. Frederick. Of course there's a novel. Anyways, Maji.
Hi. Well, have a good evening.
All right, Raven.
Yep, very much.
Oh man, I am so far behind on things because I've been in emergency meetings and working on code hot fixes and doing late night releases for what seems like a week or more. So yeah, I'm behind on everything. So I guess good night.
All righty, Frederick. Oui, oui. Bonjour. Oui, oui.
imakecomics.com. That's the forward address for Telecomic, where you can follow the progress, which I'm almost done. Everything is drawn, penciled. I've like inked up to page 17 right here, as you can see. Well, it's not done yet, but that's where I'm at. And yeah, I'm also going to be on Proof of Comics tomorrow. We got Godfo Universe as guest, the writer of the team. So that should be interesting. They've got an incredible amount of lore for their project. And they're interesting people to talk to. So it's going to be a fun conversation. And of course, on Wednesdays, it's Proof as Comics Gate Commandos on Patrick Quinlan's channel, which is PQ Vox on YouTube. So check that out. We have, I don't know who the guest is for this week, so stay tuned.
Nice. Frequency.
And I'm on mute. Yeah, you can check out my stuff on Amazon's Haley Star Bad Kitty and Bad Kitty Haley's World. You could also see me over on Substack under Frequency Studios. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. And, what a wacky, wild ride through the history of wrestling and a few other odds and ends.
We learned some facts
Some
about Abraham
that we
Lincoln
can't
as
really
well.
talk about on air. We tried, but it's not happening.
She was a
hey.
hoe.
Turn off the
Hey,
mute,
Herman.
Wrangler.
Hey,
I think I did that already.
before we sign out, congratulations to Herman P. Hunter for selling out at the con.
That's right, he
Oh,
did.
yeah, congratulations.
Sell out.
They stuffed him aside in this little back room, where kind of out of the way, and he still sold out.
Selling out
That's
to the
awesome.
man.
That's awesome, Merman. You needed it.
Good for you.
But your books are really good too, though. So
All right. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like, and if you didn't, we appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time, and God bless.
See ya.
bye.
Adios.
Don't feed the pug.
Yeah, don't trust the pug. Cannot trust the
Space
pug.
bugs.
Good night, everybody.
Chew